Dan, what do you think of the character options Sontaran figure, and do you have one?
I do have one, yeah, and some of my friends have bought me them as as comedy presents for Christmas, and so I have several. All of them, the left foot falls off. It's a strange defect, yes. It's something like a voodoo doll. I've got a bit of a click in my my left ankle as a result, but it's wonderful. You can tell the difference between mine and Chris Ryan's figure by the fact that mine has a gap in its teeth, and I think that's basically the difference, apart from the foot thing. So, but they're marvellous.
Isn't that brilliant? You've got your own doll.
Yeah, I've got my own fully posable action figure.
That is absolutely brilliant.
He's very flexible, unlike me.
Might we see you back in a forthcoming episode?
I don't know. I couldn't possibly comment.
Let's talk about the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah.
Which you did, is that correct?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Okay, let's not talk about Sarah Jane Adventures then.
No.
But being a Sontaran,
Yeah.
is it... You jokingly said that there's a course that you did at drama school as a joke. But does drama school prepare you for playing aliens and monsters?
It puts you in touch with your body and your psyche, and so then you can actually sort of, feel what it's like to actually sort of enter into the world of actually it's part of doing it with sort of like truth and actually sort of thinking about it and not sending it up really. Because even though they are sort of, obviously the last Sontaran I did was quite a comic character, but it still has to come from the point of view of he takes things very, very seriously.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that everybody else actually sort of finds it slightly ridiculous that he's a nurse. He actually sort of, although he's not shooting people like he would like to be, and he's got to sort of like heal them and sort of like heal the sick, he still does that, attacks that with exactly the same importance that he would do if he were sort of like commanding things in battle. So it's,
Out of the different Sontarans you've played, which has been your favourite, would you say, to date?
I think that Commander Strax in the last episode that was on Endurance
as the nurse.
As the nurse, that was, I read the script for that and I thought, this is marvellous. And it was, a delight.
Daniel, I suppose we're going to have to talk about Waiting for God.
Yes. Well, yes. I did an Only Fools and Horses Christmas film which was called Jolly Boys Outing, and my wife Olivia Woods, who was then a production manager at the BBC, she had done the Christmas film before, and I'd been asked to be in that one, but I couldn't. And then this time we were over in France with Natasha, who then was about, how old was she? 18 months, about 18 months. And so I got a call at this holiday place, and my agent said, look, they want you to do this Jolly Boys outing. And I said, well, what? I said, they said, look, they've got to get a script to you, but I've spoken to them, and they're going to read it to you over the phone. I went, well, I hope it's a long phone call. But anyway, so they did. So they rang me out and they read it to me, and I went, okay, stop. You don't have to read anymore. I'll do it. Of course I'll do it. Yeah, I'd love to do it. I'd love to. Anyway, cut to that. I did it, and there was a chap called Gareth Gwenlyn who was head of comedy, and he was also the exec producer on Jolly Boys Outing and Only Fools. And he was standing beside the camera as they were doing my close-up after lunch of this very long Trivial Pursuit game, and he stood there, and he was by the camera, and so I'm here and he's there like this, and he gets his hand, puts his hand in his pocket, and I'm doing all my lines, and he does this. He goes. I thought, is he going to be sick? What's wrong? What's wrong with him? Anyway, so he took it out, and he was wiping tears from his eyes, and he said, yeah, well done. And he walked off, and then cut to about 5 months later, and he called me in for this show called Waiting for God, which was then a pilot, and he got me upstairs at Television Centre, and he said, look, I've got this part. He's a guy called Harvey Baines, and he runs this nursing home, and I think you could be absolutely right for it. He said, go downstairs. He said, there's a script waiting for you at reception, actually. He said, go downstairs. Would you read it down, get a cup of coffee, and then come straight back up? So I went back downstairs, and the script said, Harvey Baines is, and when we started, I think I was, how old was I, about 36, 37, something like that. Harvey Baines is mid-50s, fat, very bald, and I went, no, it's not me. It's just it's not me. So I went back upstairs, and I said, I've got to be honest, Gareth, it's not me. You know, you can get loads of people who's this. And he said, no. Ignore all of that. Just ignore it. He said, I want you to play him as a yuppie bastard. And I said, okay. And he said, look, just do it. You do. We'll do the pilot. He said, you can always say no afterwards. He said, but do the pilot. So we did the pilot, and it went down very well. The audience loved it. But Waiting for God started life as a drama. It was bought first of all by Drama Series at Television Centre, well, BBC Television, and then it was sold to comedy. So it always had this sort of quasi mix of dramedy about it, and it was about old people, and there weren't a lot of shows about old people and about people who eventually were going to die, who were waiting to die. And so they were very queasy about the whole thing. And the chap who was head of comedy was a bloke called Robin Nash, who I'd worked with a lot on a show called No Place Like Home. And you have an option period, and the option period is about 7 days after you've recorded the pilot and they've cut it. They have 7 days, 10 days, to make up their minds about whether they're going to do a series. Because once you go out of the option period, you then can say no. Gareth Gwendon didn't tell me that bit, but so it was coming up to the last day of the option, and I rang Robin Nash and I said, Robin, the option's about to run out on Waiting for God. And he went, oh, good God, Christ, thank God you rung me. He said, because it wasn't going to go. We weren't going to do Waiting for God. He said, we're going to do another show, but the other scripts of that show are terrible. So we're going to do Waiting for God. So yes, yeah, we'll book it now. It's going to be booked right now. And 47 episodes later, that's how we came to do it. And it's one of the BBC's top international hits. It's one of the only comedies to have gone coast to coast in America, north, south, coast to coast. It's huge there. And that's joyous, because, you know, when you get to New york or Boston, as I sometimes do, it's great because people get just about hey, or they stalk you, and yeah, but that's it. So sorry, I'm taking up too much time. So that's how it started. Yes.
Oh.
And we had a ball. We loved it. We all loved it. We hated each other to begin with. We didn't hate each other, but very wary. There were only about 6 of us in it, and we were all very wary about doing another comedy. And then gradually, instead of loving each other at the beginning and then falling out later on, as shows tend to happen, we all grew to love each other like family right till the final episode. And when we all said, that's it, enough, you know. So they were, yeah.
So it was all of you as a cast.
We decided that was the end. Yeah.